Now, honestly, I wanted to go back. This is from 3 days ago. I recently started watching Rev Says Desu a little bit more, and I don't really know what's going on with this VTuber. I don't know this VTuber much, but I definitely seen her constantly, like here, there, everywhere. So I kind of want to just check out the news, see what's going on with that. So let's check it out, my dude.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rob here. So today we're going to take some time and talk about...
Boop.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rob here. So today we're going to take some time and talk about Niji Sanji's Selen Tatsuki, because a lot of people are worried about her. And why are they worried? Well, she has been MIA from social media for over a full month at this point. Not a single stream, not a single tweet, nothing. And given the circumstances that led up to this recent hiatus, a lot of people are concerned and are asking a very simple question.
What happened leading up to
Where
this?
is Selen? You can see this hashtag. It's been getting a lot of attention and some criticism
Where
as
is
well
Selen?
on Twitter.
Find
but they're
her!
asking a very simple question. It's directed at Niji Sanji management right now. They are saying, where is she? And is there any updates regarding her status? Now, before we look into all that, let's remind ourselves how we got here. Selen has been someone who is a very respected member of Niji Sanji and a very active one.
Sanji know?
And over the course of time, she has had run-ins with her management, where her management at Niji Sanji has impeded some of her projects and community-related events. About a year ago, she had an
classic VTuber agency move.
Art competition where she wanted to give...
Not every VTuber agency, right? A lot of them are actually quite well and treat their VTubers really good, from what I've heard. So I'm glad that those exist.
The 5 artists who won this outfit competition a cash prize of $1,000 each. This was something that she had to negotiate with and fight tooth and nail with her management to get the permission to do. Not to use Niji Sanji's money, to use her own money out of her own pocket to reward these artists for making these outfit designs.
Nah, son. Nah. No, thank you. It's like, bro, there are definitely times where I debate or think about wanting to apply for or go for like apply for like an agency, like legit, and it's like maybe I'm really curious to see. I would love to send it. I don't think I'd ever get picked up, but I'd like to send them and fantasize about it, you know what I mean? But it's like, but then you hear about stuff like this. It'd be one thing if they were like, the financial aspect, you don't make us enough money as a VTuber, so we can't do that. That's one thing. But if I'm offering to pay for it with my own cash, and you're just saying no, just cut, nah, I don't like that. Like, that's the kind of stuff that really makes me not like the idea of signing up with an agency, at all.
Designs for a VTuber model. Then, a few months later, there was another situation where she was no longer allowed to host international tournaments. This was something that she was very well known for. It was a big bridge between the Japanese side of Niji Sanji and their fan base and the English side. And she would host these international tournaments and lead them and put a lot of work into them. And then suddenly, back in August of last year, for reasons, she was told by management that she specifically could not host these tournaments any longer, which was very disappointing to her and her fans. Now, probably the biggest situation out of all of this, you guys are probably aware of. This happened on Christmas Day of all times. It was a situation where Selen had made a cover song and an accompanying music video that was a very, very long project that they put a lot of work in, including a lot of money, and this was supposed to be a Christmas gift to her community, and it released on Christmas Day. And afterwards, she even had a celebration stream talking about the music video and celebrating that it was live. Well, only a few hours after that, she made this tweet apologizing and saying that management has privated the song. And curiously,
she was pissed.
She said immediately, please feel free to re-upload the video. Now, me and many others at that time already made the conclusion that this video is likely never coming back. The fact that she said...
I don't know. I'm so sorry. This is not an unrelated note. I am so unbelievably jealous and so freaking Dragoons. I love her community name, Dragoons. For anyone who don't know, I'm a huge fan of an old PlayStation 1 game called Legend of Dragoon. So Drago, like just using Drago, what a great freaking name, dude. I gotta think of something cool for my community. What a phenomenal name for your community. Solen, I am Jelly Monsters. I am Jelly Belly for your community name. What a phenomenal name. All right,
Feel free to re-upload. Tells a lot of people that she knew this was probably not coming back, or at least not for a long time. And the management was making statements about this music video saying they didn't have all the permission necessary, which is odd because why would it go live in the first place? But anyways, that was their explanation. They made it sound like it would be coming back soon. Well, here we are, only about a day away from February, and the song is still private. Somehow, Niji Sanji and their management have not figured out how to get the permissions necessary to make this song public. It's very strange. And on top of all that, only 2 days after the initial Christmas situation, Solen made this tweet saying that she went to the hospital, and then a few days later reported that she had been discharged from the hospital. And that has been it. That's it. That is her last communication publicly from any of her associated accounts. And a lot of people are asking, where is she? Because this is...
Okay. Before we go any further, personally, like let's get over the obvious. I feel like she is due to leave. She is due to graduate from Niji Sanji any day. She obviously is pissed off about a lot of this. I feel like she's doing her best to hold her words in. But, you know, especially telling people to just re-upload the stuff, it really has some strong, like, I don't even care what management says vibes. You get me? Like, I don't even care if I get fired for this vibes. You get me? So I feel like that's like, let's just get out the way. That's the obvious, right? If she just had an incident, I think more than likely she's recovering. Just because she was discharged from the hospital does not mean that she's in good health or 100%. Now, this doesn't mean she's in critical condition at home. So relax. I think she just needs time. I think she needs time to recover. Not only physically, hopefully everything's good. I don't know what's happening, but, you know, she probably needs time to recover from whatever accident or incident happened. And I feel like there's probably going to need to be a little bit of recovery mentally, too. It sounds like she's had a rough time of it. A rough time of it lately. I can only imagine she's not doing too well right now. Yeah, I think people need to chill. I get it, and I understand. I think it's great that we're, like, pressuring Niji Sanji, like, where's Solen? But I feel like maybe Solen's... It's possible, I'm just saying, it might be that Solen is trying to stay off of social media right now for a while, you get me? She's trying to avoid the whole scene, and she's probably not happy with Niji Sanji right now, too, on top of that. So, you know, she's probably streaming and posting up on Instagram, on Twitter, and it's probably not her number one priority right now. I totally get it. And I hope she gets better, and I hope she takes the time that she needs. That being said, don't get me wrong, I feel like it's good that this Where Solen, with any luck, and with in good faith, hopefully this becomes a bit of a chant to get Niji Sanji's, you know, to pay more attention to the fact that they've been sort of blocking their freaking creators from doing their thing. You know, so hopefully the chant gets a little bit more attention to that, a little bit more public eye. But I don't. But I think I think we need to like let her give her a little bit of space right now.
It's been over a month, and I don't like to speculate in situations like this, but I think it's very understandable to be curious and to make the reasonable assumption that there's likely
it's
two
definitely okay to be curious. You know,
for what's
you're worried.
going on
It's
here.
someone you care
Number
about.
one, she's not ready to come back. Maybe she needs more time for her mental health or physical health, and she needs to take a longer break. That's totally fine, and I think all of her fans would understand that. Absolutely. But that's something that should be communicated by management. They should share this information and update people and say, hey, she's not going to be back.
Good point. Yeah. I wonder how, I can only imagine, do you think communications are so torn apart between them that they don't even know? But if that's the case, they should at least tell people, hey, she's gonna be on, she's gonna be until further notice,
for a bit because she needs it for whatever reasons. That's at least something. That's on management to do that. And then there's another explanation, and that is, of course, that Niji Sanji is preventing her from communicating on any of these accounts. Which, even in that scenario, that is something that should also
you think they might be
communicated to fans who are wondering where she has gone. Now, as time has continued to pass without an explanation as to where she is, we've seen this hashtag, #WhereIsSelene, get more and more popular, and this post has probably got the most likes out of any of them using this hashtag, and I think this right here asks some very simple and fair questions, so let's give it a read. It says, so it has been almost a month since we've last heard from or about Selene. I want to make what I'm about to write clear. This is not directed to rush her back from any condition or demand any answers from her or any of the other EN livers specifically. During this past month, not a single current Niji EN member has even mentioned her once since the Cup of Coffee MV issue or...
Isn't that point right there, isn't that so telling? And I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm the kind of person, I have such... I will forget if I don't say this. It reminds me of all the horror stories you hear about idols, that idols go through in Japan. From the super strict management. Those horror stories you hear about idols and stuff, Let's continue. I don't want to get too away from
this. But the tweet stating that she was in and discharged from the hospital, giving the perception as if they're not allowed to. Pomu's graduation was announced and taken place over this time as well. Selene was not able to say goodbye to Pomu on stream in any form or fashion, with the only mention of Selene coming from Pomu herself once or twice during this time as well. The circumstances of why this is happening is leaving the Dragoon fanbase in fear of the worst possible situations and causing disarray as to what's happening to her. I'm not asking for an invasive explanation as to what happened to her or needing to know why she specifically has not been updating us. What I and a lot of other Dragoons want is an update from Niji Sanji directly on her situation, like they have with their livers for so many times in the past, where the livers themselves are incapable. I know there are many that are just as worried as I am and are awaiting a response from Niji Sanji or her on this whole situation themselves. So that's why I and other Dragoons are asking for here. I think it's a very simple request. Just basically give the most basic, generic response to where she's been. You don't have to get...
It is a very, very reasonable response. It's one of those things... I can only, I don't want to speak on her behalf. I don't know, Selene, I haven't really. But it's one of those things I can only imagine every content creator probably has this, fear in the back of their head of, not being, being down and not communicating with your audience. And it's understandable that people who are your fans, people who genuinely, care about your well-being, they're going to get worried, and to leave, and it is a bit, not saying that Selene or anything like that owes anybody anything, right? But I have felt, whatever situations happen, me personally, I have felt responsible to make sure that I communicate with that, and I have failed, honestly, but I have felt very responsible to communicate when I'm not going to be able to stream, when things like that are going to happen. I feel very guilty. I feel very guilty for not being able to communicate that more clearly and concisely, and it's one of those things that I want to get better at. And I could, and so I can only imagine Selene probably wants to say something about it. I am, again, entirely, crud, what's the word? Not making this up, but I'm making assumptions here. I'm assuming all of this. I can only assume that she probably wants to say something, but something's going on there. There's a little bit more. Whether it's management not letting her, or whether it's her just being fed up with this whole situation, or in a situation where she just genuinely can't. She's recovering. I don't know, but that's the thing. Imagine the fans going through all these millions of questions. Worried. So that's what I'm saying. Someone as I can only imagine she might feel, most VTubers or most content creators would feel responsible, you know, for not being like whenever not being able to communicate this. It's got to be a nightmare for her too, you know. I can only imagine she might be like concerned, not being able to speak out, talk, communicate, anything, dude. That sucks.
Get
just
invasive
a simple I'm okay,
give any
you know,
sort of a real
nothing.
insight to as to where she's been. Just let people know that either A, she's taking a break, or she'll be back by a certain time. That's all people want to know. They just want to know she's out there somewhere and there's a plan for her to return or not. But you have to let people know about this instead of leaving them in a cloud of confusion. Now, some people have been criticizing the use of this hashtag, and they're saying a lot of things like in this thread. To sum it up very simply, they're saying that fans aren't owed anything in terms of an explanation or details for the status of any talent. Now, I think that's somewhat...
True, but not the but you're fighting they're fighting an argument that doesn't exist. It's true that fans are not owed a single freaking thing. This is not the fans are not demanding like a freaking air track on this shit. The fans are concerned and worried and would just like the management to manage the brand, so to speak. It's not unreasonable to expect management to handle this now that Selene is not available to handle it. That's kind of the point, you know? She's unavailable to manage the brand, the channel, so she would need management to help, you know?
What, correct. I guess fans really aren't entitled to anything, but it's the right thing to do. It's very clearly the right thing to do in this situation when your management...
I would argue management... Selene has no obligation. I would argue that when Selene is unavailable, management has an obligation.
They have a very reasonable expectation to hear
try to help
from the management.
Create some kind of communication between the two.
And I think that is a very fair thing. It's not entitled. And also, a lot of these people are not just fans, they're also customers. They pay for memberships to her channel. They are owed some sort of an explanation as to where she has gone. Now, I've seen other...
I don't know if they're old. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Just because they pay or subscribe doesn't mean they're old jack squad. I'm just saying you are supporting these content creators to create content. You are not paying them to work a certain set of hours. You get me? So I don't like that specific mindset. But again, I don't feel like that's Rev saying anything crazy. I feel like that's just choice of words, so to speak.
Other people try to compare this situation to Gargura and saying, like, imagine if there was a "Where is Gura" hashtag, you know, one of these times where she took a hiatus, basically, which I think is a pretty unfair comparison. The hiatuses that Gargura has taken are very different than what's going on with Selene. Number one, the circumstances
she is definitely on the idol spectrum more than she is on the VTuber streamer spectrum
that has ever happened to Gargura before any of her hiatuses, or at least we don't know any of those circumstances. We know that.
Yeah, no. Again, it's just a bad faith argument because Gargura's like her hiatuses are consistent. It's like not out of the blue, and she's a lot more of an idol than she is the streamer anymore. You get what I'm saying? She's just evolved at this point. She has ascended beyond this mortal.
A song that was very important
on the YouTuber
to
realm.
We also know she went to the hospital and was discharged only a few days after that, and then took this hiatus. That's very different than anything that Gargura has gone through with her hiatuses. And also when Gargura takes a hiatus, she's only doing it from streaming. She's still making other content for Hololive, participating in events, collabs, things like that. And
exactly.
Tweeting, and doing things that says, like, you know, I'm here. I'm not completely gone.
I am not in the difference. I wasn't hospitalized and now I'm suffering at home.
Hiatuses. It's different circumstances. And in this case, we also have someone like Selene who is missed out on collabs, and she's known as someone being very reliable. I really thought I could make it to
the end of the video. I gotta go take a quick little 1 minute freaking too many liquids. Oh, dude, the whole family picked me up today, and they got me one of them medicine balls from Star Beezy. lord, that's a lot of liquid. Great tea, though. Great tea. I gotta learn how to make that at home. Good lord.
So it's very strange that she has missed these things, and I think it's very natural for fans.
Of course, I washed my hands.
To ask what is going on, and I don't think this comparison to
Gargura
really is a fair one.
But
anyways, that's going to do it for this video. This is an ongoing situation. With February 1st closely approaching, I think we might hear something. I don't know, maybe that's just being optimistic, but with a new month, maybe management will come out and say something, but it seems like it's getting louder and louder.
If they didn't, of
where is
I don't think they're going to.
You go to any of the recent Niji Sanji tweets, there's that hashtag is filled in the replies. And yeah, for good reason. I think people have the right to start asking these questions of management who's been silent about this whole situation. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please share all of your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys next time.
I have a very, this is some nice artwork. I'm gonna pause it here.
Let's give it a read. It's
I have a very strong sneaking suspicion that a lot of things happened. No duh. No shiz, Sherlock. I got a sneaky suspicion that a lot of this happened all at once, way too close together. I think Selenda's not happy with the current situation that things are going. I think something in IRL happened that has, I'm sure has put certain, has not helped, I'm sure, her mental health. And I think I have a suspicion that she may want certain things to change. As things tend to go in life, you tend to want to, when IRL tragedies happen, you tend to sort of get this, you tend to just, be down. You know what I mean? Even if it's not anything you did, if there was just been an incident, an accident, you were in an accident, I don't know about you, but you just get down. Just, sometimes you just, you're just in a rut. Even, mentally, too, on top of that. So I feel like she's not in a good place. She needs a break. She needs some time to get to sort of gather herself up. You know what I mean? So I feel like, yeah, we got to give her some privacy. We got to give her some time, some space. Sort of go from there. So yeah, I can see why people were like, you don't owe you nothing. Okay, yeah, I get that 100%. But it's they're concerned. They're concerned though. I feel like people have a right to be concerned. They have a right to voice their concern on the platform. That's what Twitter's for. Of course, people who are demanding an answer because I pay you money and now I want you to know they are being absolutely absurd and they're being unreasonable. I feel like most people can see that. I don't want to make any assumptions. I don't know jack squat, but I'm wondering if the reason why Niji Sanji is not, this is just me, tinfoil hat time. I'm wondering if Niji Sanji is not saying anything about her returning or coming back, because it might be that they don't even know if she wants to return or come back. You get what I'm saying? She might have just flicked them off and said, you know what, I'm using my vacation days and freaking do one. Which would be a baller move, right? But I don't know. All I can say is I hope she gets better. I hope everything goes well. I hope mentally and physically everything is okay. Niji Sanji, please, my dudes. This is a very common thing I'm hearing right now. Niji Sanji. Is that you just keep blocking these creatives from being creative? What the freak? Why did you hire these talents if you won't let them use their talents? Whatever, dude. I'm just a monkey. What do I know? Alrighty, my dudes. Let's move on. Oh, like the video. Ayoo, be sure to join the crew. Please like, follow, and subscribe. And hey, if you like that video, you should check out this stuff.